This is Sam from Unidale, and you're tuning into another edition of the Sam I Analyze Show. O.J. Simpson, known as the Juice, passed away today at the age of 76 after a battle with prostate cancer. He was a very polarizing figure, and there are a lot of thoughts about O.J. Simpson. I wanted to tell you guys where I stood and where I was when everything was transpiring in the 90s. Let's analyze. Before we start, I actually would like to say condolences to the Simpson family who lost their father and grandfather and family member in O.J. Simpson. So condolences to them. O.J. Simpson, as I said, he was a very polarizing figure. When this came through the ticker and phones and update, I'd said there was a statement that was released through his family on Simpson's X account, and it read, "On April 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. During this time of transition, his family asks that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace." That's what his family posted on his X account. Now, who is O.J. Simpson? Or who was O.J. Simpson? O.J. Simpson was a football player from 1969 to 1979. He was drafted by the Buffalo Bills. He did win MVP in 1973 after rushing for the first running back to rush for over 2,000 yards. He had 2,003 yards. That year, in 1973, he also won MVP. He won 4 rushing titles in his career. He made 5 Pro Bowls, scored 76 touchdowns, and he ranks 21st all-time on the rushing list with 11,236 yards. O.J. Simpson was also, after his career, was an actor. He premiered in not premiered, but he was in 43 movies. One of the ones that he's highly remembered for was The Naked Gun. He was in Hertz. I remember seeing Hertz commercials. I think it was before my time, but I know when they talk about OJ and you see documentaries, he was in these commercials as well. But unfortunately, this is not what people remember OJ for. This was when he was playing. That was well before my time. O.J. Simpson is actually remembered, as he passed away again at 76 years old. He's remembered for, when I first really learned about O.J., was during the NBA Finals in 1994, when I'm sitting here, I think it was a Friday night, and he's in a Bronco being chased down the expressway. I believe his friend, Al Collins, his best friend, was driving, and OJ, and this is the YouTube and the algorithm, so I don't want to get, but he was, don't want to get cut here, but he's in the back of the Bronco, the white Bronco, with, a weapon, or a W to his head, and threatening to harm himself. Since he surrendered, and I'm like, the whole time I'm like, can we get back to the finals game, please? He was acquitted in 1994 of the M charges against Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. He was found liable in a wrongful suit. He was sentenced to 33 years, um, and and this is again, it's very because of the algorithm, very being very cautious here with how I word things. But 33 years locked up for a burglary in 2007 in a Las Vegas hotel. According to him, he's like, I'm just trying to get my stuff back that was taken from me. He was then released 10 years later in 2017, which then he until this point, so seven years later, he passed away. Here's the deal. As I said, O.J. Simpson was a very polarizing figure. Some people, his family, they said, he was a father, he was a grandfather, and some people, he was an acquitted, person who was, people believe that he did these things to Ron Goldman and Nicole Kidman, and that's not what I'm here for. My thing is this: during that time, where I just remember this was a guy who took me away from my game. Right, he took me away from my game during that time. I remember being in high school. I went to a mixed high school. So, white, black students. And I felt that during that time, there was a divide during that, that trial. Because I remember, when he was, found not guilty. And you remember the phrase by the late Johnny Cochran, if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. And I mean, that was huge. I think that case also helped to bring about the Kardashian legacy because of their father was on the team, that dream team defense. I mean, that whole thing was historic. Look, I know this, I guess this today, when you hear that he officially passed away, I guess this puts in closed the book on everything. But for me, look, I know, his family's grieving. You may have some people, it's sad, but it happens. I mean, maybe on the other, the families who were victimized or who accused him of these acts and, what have you. Again, when you look at the evidence, it looks like he was the person who did these things. But then you look at documentaries, as you know, I like to watch the Datelines, the 48 Hours documentaries and things like that. And, people have been able to cast doubt on this whole thing and how, they could have been this, that. Just look it up. This is, I'm not going to talk about that. But look, to me, I think he ruined, these allegations and everything brought against him ruined exactly everything that he did prior to that. I didn't even realize, wow, it was 1979 that when he retired. So he basically, all that stuff that he did in football didn't even matter, because people like in my generation, I mean, and others, people just remember, oh, that's the professional football player who was acquitted for and should have been found, should have been locked up for the rest of his life. That's what a lot of people say and believe. And look, I get it. And, and like I said, this thing caused drama to a lot of families. It was a big deal all over the nation. All over the nation, by the way. I don't remember ever seeing something like this before the O.J. Simpson trial. That was all over the television and everything. And, I mean, this was a big deal. So, to me, I say at the end of the day, I just remember being in school and messing with my Knicks opportunity, and I'm like, man, I thought the Knicks were gonna win it all. I really did, but that was not to happen. And but maybe the Knicks now are heading in a direction where they might finally win a championship. But I mean, this was just, I mean, this was what transpired, folks, during that time. And I didn't even realize, man, this was a long time ago now. Wow, the juice, man, the juice, and passes away. I didn't see him play football, but it's sad to me. The whole thing is just sad that he's remembered. His football career is like, okay, this is what we remember him for. And like I said, they remember him for everything. And he was released in 2017, and you didn't hear a peep from him after that. So I guess condolences again to his family. And that was my take on the O.J. Simpson trials and where I was at that time. Now, as we close with our By the Way segment, we're going to close out with this. UConn, not UConn, Scott Drew has turned down the Kentucky Wildcats job and will remain with Baylor. I'd like to thank you for tuning in, folks. I'm on most social media platforms at SamIAnalyze. Please like, subscribe, and you see that notification bell to the right. Please click on that. That will let you know the next time I drop another video. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, à tout à l'heure.